Last time on Dragon Ball Z, we pitted all of the married Knights of the D-pads against each other in a game show in which Kyle came out on top with his lovely wife. But he left in dramatic fashion. Find out next week if the Knights will be able to continue without Kyle by their side. This wasn't scripted, audience. I tried. Welcome to the
without
season
Kyle by the side.
The side. We fell over on the opening.
Kyle was the secret to our success.
Kyle was a secret to
now
the
that
openings.
he's gone, we have no opening.
They're all gonna fall over. But welcome to season 4 of Knights of the D-pad, as we continue to not have the exact same set for a 4th season running.
Never couldn't be us.
It wasn't that we were kicked out of the other set; just things happened. And
technically,
if we tried hard enough, we could have kept it. But that was not a battle I cared to fight.
Point to not go to that set.
Oh, I don't know about that one, Court. But we are now remote. But even though we have moved, this isn't scuffed. Ben and Lillian and Court have briefly seen what things look like in this virtual digital space. But they don't get to see it live. In fact, they don't even get to see my normal camera. They get to see a weird laptop camera off to the side because of how OBS works. But here we are.
We're not seeing your normal camera?
No, if you see, I'm using the laptop camera off to the side.
I thought it was just a stylistic choice. I don't know.
Yeah. It's off to the side and in really bad quality with my mic stand obstructing half the view.
I was like, that's a choice for sure, but I'm there for it.
I'm not the journalism major.
Yeah. We're all just recording from the comforts of our own home when we logistically figured it out, thanks to my production director background with esports. I know how to do remote filming, which is great, because otherwise this would not be possible. I would have not known how to do any of this. So here we are in the digital expansive space, because the background is stars. So pretend you're astronauts, guys. I know you weren't trained, but consider this part of your astronaut training.
You think we weren't trained?
Major Tom to ground control.
Okay. But we've begun season 4. We are here. Kyle is now off doing his own thing. Lillian is now full-time with us. Will be with us every week until, someone has to leave and do something, which Court will do many times, as is, on brand for him. Just be like, hey guys, I forgot.
We're not gonna explain. Just Court's leaving because
Court will be going to a different country for some of the season.
Going to Peru.
He'll be recording from Peru.
It's fine. Ping will be fine. Ping will not be an issue.
Yeah, ping will not be an issue. I do worry. I do worry about what that will look like, but it's not a concern or something that I want to worry about right now. We will cross that bridge when we get there. But for right now, when we're all still in the safe enclosures of Provo, the extensive Provo, Utah area, we all have okay internet. As to be not real.
The extended Provo area.
The expanded Provo cinematic universe. We are here. But before we go off the rails too much, I think we should actually get started on some topics. Does anyone have a preference as to which one we start with? Anyone have a preference?
I'll go ahead and start, just because I want to at least start on a good note.
Start on a good note? Wait a minute.
I mean, 2 of these are pretty depressing, but
fair enough.
Okay. I don't know if any of y'all know much about the Consumer Electronics Showcase, which is just this big event that happens every year. This year's happening in Las Vegas, and it's where all these electronic companies just get together and they show off their newest tech and be like, hey, look at me, I'm so cool. And so, as usual, there are some major gaming companies that also brought forward relatively new and pretty incredible gaming technology. And so one of those just happens to be the MSI Claw. So it's really nice to be seeing these kind of handheld portable gaming systems being like so full of just general competition and a lot of options out there. You get, you know, Lenovo Legion, I guess technically Nintendo Switch, but the MSI Claw is MSI's intro into this. They're coming out with a 7-inch 120 hertz display, an Intel Ultra, I think it's an Ultra 5 core,
Something
and
like
then they also have their big selling point on this is a 53 watt-hour battery life.
Which means you'll be able to play 2 hours of Baldur's Gate 3 instead of 1.
Yeah, how well that holds up with like very power intensive games, who knows? But it's a lot more impressive than other, you know, portable systems that get generally around like maybe 20 to 30. And so, well, I guess more like 30 to 40, but
yeah,
so,
I mean, it is one of those things, because even with gaming laptops, it's like when you're getting a gaming handheld or a gaming laptop portable device of any kind, you like kind of expect the battery life is always going to leave something to be desired. You're not going to get all-day battery life out of a Steam Deck ever, at least not with current technology. So you're just kind of like happy if you can get like 3 to 4 hours of battery life without having to be plugged in.
But I mean, that's kind of it's kind of how it is with laptops to a degree too. Like gaming laptops, you're never going to get fantastic battery life from a hardcore gaming laptop either. You kind of have to have them plugged in to use it for any extended amount of time.
Yeah. But it was cool to see another like announcement of a handheld, because other than like the Nintendo Switch and the Steam Deck, there aren't really, like, there are a few of them. And then there's like
the Asus ROG Ally.
And then you have like the gaming phone market as well, but like in terms of genuine handheld gaming devices, you either have the Steam Deck, the Switch, or you have like some other weird third-party attempt at a handheld gaming system that can't like run most AAA titles. So having MSI enter into it, who are known for making gaming components and gaming laptops and gaming computers, it's nice that they're like, hey guys, watch this, we can do it too.
And so it should be interesting to see how well it comes out on launch and how well it handles AAA game performance. But moving on from the MSI Claw, we have the Riser Gaming Haptic Chair.
What?
This was crazy when they announced it.
So basically, it is like, this is a little bit of a like just kind of shallow explanation of it, but it's kind of just a gaming chair with a big like vibrating
haptic
disc
sensor
at the bottom that can recreate kind of sensations that are going on in your game. It's interesting how it's able to do that with such little latency. It was really interesting looking into that, but I mean,
But how does that work? Like what kind of game sensations are you getting haptic feedback from a chair?
Explosion.
I guess so. It's kind of like those like 4D theater seats. You know, like you can get those like 4D theater seats.
Yeah, I would assume it's that like kind of sensation. And then they also talked about how that back panel like adapts to your lumbar support, so it's like it's got like adaptive lumbar support. It's not just kind of like a set it and then hope that it still works if you change how you sit. Like it moves with you. They didn't like talk about what adaptive meant, and like if it's like AI learning or if it's just some kind of like mesh or like a, I don't know, like
there's a little guy sitting in the back of the chair that's moving around with
some
you
little guy. So they didn't talk about it a whole lot on that one, but
I mean, from what I'm seeing, it's made from very good materials, nice leather and fabric,
vibranium.
Vibranium.
It's basically a very well-rounded gaming chair in the first place, but it should be interesting to see like the level of haptics you can get from their haptic system that sits on like the central base, like where you have your rolly chair and all those wheel kind of
your
spindles connect.
Chair.
That's what it is. It's not an office chair.
Okay.
And so
I'm always skeptical of gaming chairs though, because like gaming chairs compared to genuine like office chairs, you always end up with I don't know why companies do this. Like, we don't want to sit in race car chairs, guys. Like, stop.
Speak for yourself. I do.
Okay. Well, I give up then. Like, no, it's that's like my biggest issue with gaming chairs. It's like they're always designed like race car chairs to have like this kind of like bowl shape that has like the lifted edges underneath, and they're not built for comfort. They're like built for not that.
They're built for speed.
They're built for speed. So my issue always is, it's like when I'm trying to get a new chair that I know I'm going to sit in for hours at a time, like I would rather spend $150 on an office chair than $150 to $200 on a gaming chair, because I know the office chair is just better.
Have you guys seen those memes? These are like some of my favorite memes going around right now, but it's like the memes where it's like someone who's just like playing a game and just obviously cheating. Like they've obviously got like aimbot or like, some kind of hack something, and it's just like he must have had a really good gaming chair. Like, it's all about the game.
Equipment diff.
I'm just saying, I want my race car chair to match my race car bed. So
yeah, that's it. Yeah. You gotta get the Lightning McQueen bed with a Lightning McQueen chair.
Yeah. I'm excited to see when the Razer NKey Pro HyperSense comes out, because I want to see how people react to it, how people say how immersive the haptics are. But that's just a time for the future, because these are all kind of like demos they have released for CES.
Now I really want a Lightning McQueen gamer chair. And that's your fault, Aiden.
Mm-hmm.
You put that idea in my head.
Get looking. I'm sure Amazon can hook you up with a Lightning McQueen gaming chair, as he's Googling it right now.
He's Googling it right now. So I guess while Court Googles that, I'll Google this. Samsung has also unveiled a new gaming 3D monitor,
which looked kind of gnarly, but
it looks kind of gnarly. It should function relatively similar to the Nintendo Switch, or no, not Nintendo, the Nintendo 3DS.
The 3DS.
But instead of using like parallax screens that kind of filter the light so that you have like one side kind of pointing generally to the left and one side generally pointing to the right, you have a monitor that has two cameras, one kind of gauging your right eye, one gauging your left eye, and then it uses AI systems to measure where, like, keep track of where your eyes are looking and kind of move these parallax screens to just kind of like match your eyes.
Okay.
And so from what I've heard, it's about just as like unnerving and unsettling to use for the first time as a 3DS was.
But the 3DS effect was really cool eventually. Like,
but with some time, people say like after about like 30 minutes, you generally don't even really notice it anymore, and you just kind of have a very good 3D experience.
And it works with just like any games, or is it like games have to be very?
It works with any games. It's kind of the same effect where it just takes the image and kind of splits it into two AI being able to kind of like turn one of them a little bit to get that 3D effect.
Dang, that's super cool.
And so supposedly should have 4K and 120 hertz. So
4K 3D. I mean, the thing with the 3DS screen was
now
as soon as you went to like the 3D parallax mode, you could see a visible drop in quality as it was like trying to do the 3D. So I wonder if the Samsung monitor is able to overcome that, and the 4K in the 3D is genuinely 4K, or if it kind of like drops.
I would think so, because I mean, you got to think the 3DS, where that technology really first was widely used. I mean, that came out a long time ago, so we've had that technology for a while. I've got to think they've probably, made a lot of progress on it. Also, I have something very sad to report.
What?
What?
There is no Lightning McQueen gaming chair.
Well,
incredibly saddening.
I think you can get on it. I think you should get on that, Court. I think it's an entrepreneurship opportunity.
That is a new market.
There is a hole in the market that needs to be filled, Court.
Like if I Google it, I just get pictures of gaming chairs or pictures of weird Lightning McQueen chairs, but there is no crossover.
There is no crossover, and it needs to happen.
There's no
custom gaming chair.
And so,
Court,
I mean,
as we speak, is going to order a custom Lightning McQueen chair. Look at him go! Look at him.
He's putting in his credit card information.
Custom gaming chair. Here we go. Make your own.
No, but I mean, like, I think
Overlay
it should
a
be
PNG.
possible for them. It should be possible for Samsung to get 4K because we have 8K possibilities.
That's true.
And so, if they are splitting up a 4K resolution image into, or an 8K resolution image into 2 screens, that's just 2 4K screens that trying to point at you at the same time.
Quick math.
And so, maybe it has like an 8K non 3D mode that you can switch to.
I would assume maybe.
But I mean, I'm excited to see it's probably going to cost an insane amount of money, somewhere like $1,500. But
yeah,
you
I mean,
combine
game is
buy
game.
your Samsung 3D monitor with your Razer haptic feedback chair, and then I don't know, you get a haptic feedback controller, so basically playing on a PS5, and then you get the most Omega surround sound headphones you can, and just fully immerse yourself in a dark room.
Using this gaming set lets you enter the world of the game.
Yep.
For a low price of $9,000.
See, but that would be the ultimate, is if you get the screen with the 3D effect, and then you also get the nice gaming chair with the haptics, and then you combine those two things together, and then you do have just the ultimate experience where you're feeling and seeing everything.
And when you die in the game, you
You
die in real life.
Real life.
Didn't we cover that of like some
We did.
VR headset that would just shoot you in the head?
The full immersion.
No. Yeah. There was a guy who made it, right?
Yeah,
Like,
someone
he
made one.
Yeah.
I think he either made it or he was theoretically he built a prototype for it, and it was like, why are you doing this? And he's like, why not? And we're like, that's the wrong question, buddy. CES also, Nvidia announced the super versions of the 4080 and souped up versions of the 4070s too. We're getting bigger and better graphics cards from them.
Yeah, and Nvidia new graphics cards, AMD, they've got their new 780, I think.
I'm not super familiar with AMD's naming system, so I couldn't tell you what the differences are.
Yeah, but I mean, you got general new kind of upgrades of current gaming hardware,
Yeah.
but I think these ones, the MSI Claw, the haptic chair, and the 3D monitor.
Wait, you know my favorite thing it was either announced at the showcase or was announced around it. Did you guys see the Xbox toaster?
Yes.
Oh, I've seen that. My favorite thing was the $15,000 e-ink toilet.
I also saw that. That was silly. You can you put those and then you get your Xbox fridge with your Xbox toaster.
I have genuinely on several occasions considered purchasing an Xbox Series X mini fridge. Cause they have it's like a mini fridge. So it's not like the big full fridge, but it's like a mini fridge, and it's about the size of an actual Xbox Series X. And it's just you just open it up, you can fit some sodas in there. It's like a fully functioning mini fridge, and I'm like, I'm not gonna do it because I don't have the money. But
Thanks
I've
for clarifying,
considered it.
Court. Thanks for clarifying. We were worried there for a second.
It'd be a cool thing to add to the setup. Plus, it'd be cool if you lined it up next to other consoles. So it's oh, this is my PlayStation, and this is my Xbox, and then this is my Switch, and then you just open up the Xbox and grab a soda out of it.
See, I need somebody to mod the Xbox fridge so that it actually plays games. So you basically just have a literal Xbox Series X mini fridge?
Like that KFC console that came out a while ago, like that could cook chicken as well as game.
Yes. I need an appliance that can double as a game console. Get on it. Get on it, Microsoft. I need it. Get a Nintendo rice cooker that can
Yes.
play games.
Honestly, if anybody would, it would be Nintendo, because
It would be
Nintendo is
Nintendo.
like, they're always just doing the weirdest stuff. Like the Switch 2 is just gonna be a like,
It's gonna be a rice cooker.
it's gonna be a rice cooker. It's just straight up built-in
Nintendo
rice cooking
rice
attachment.
cooker. Oh man.
And there'll be
Alright.
games associated with the rice cooker to like cook the best rice because it has a
Oh, yeah.
sensor like
We rice
like
cook.
the Instapot. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we rice cook.
Let them
What?
cook.
No. Like, if you want to cook your rice this specific way, you must play this game, and it's gonna come with a game pre-installed about cooking rice.
It's like the new version of Wii Sports, but it's like
We cook.
We cook.
It's just cooking, mama.
Yeah, it's just everyone comes with a copy of Cooking Mama.
And you're just making like freaking
gosh.
mochi or whatever, and in the meantime, the automatic rice cooker is powering
See, you
away.
can get the expansion
Yeah.
pack where not only it comes with a Nintendo rice cooker, it comes with a Nintendo Easy Bake Oven. And
No, and when the new Smash Bros is released for this console, it's like the heat of the oven is directly equivalent to the percentage of your character. So like, if you want, if you
Well, I have
want-
like a toaster oven, air fryer, grill combo thing. So it would be something like that. It'd have to be something like that where it's just all of the different features
all of them in
plus
one.
you can game.
okay, we're going off the
We're
deep
going
end
so
here.
off. It is, yep.
Court, why don't you? Well, I guess this is your topic, but I kind of before we go into all of the other weird stuff that happened, we need to look back on 2023. I guess maybe we should have
Okay.
started with this, but Court, I guess kind of you take the lead on where you're hoping to go with this.
Basically, what I just wanted to do with this is I was like thinking about, what can I talk about, and I thought, okay, I just wanted to go back and look at how amazing 2023 was as a year for video games. And I say that specifically because I've been playing through Star Wars Jedi Survivor on my PlayStation over the course of the last, like, I got it just like a little bit after Christmas, and I've been playing for the last like month or so. And it is blowing me away that, like, it's crazy to me that a game that is this good, because I am loving this game. Like, it is really, really good. I understand it had a bunch of issues at launch, but like that in its current state, it is incredible. And so it blows my mind that we had a year just now where a game of that quality was like not even a contender for Game of the Year. Like, the only mention that Jedi Survivor got at the Game Awards was, like, I think basically just
A nomination for like
a nomination
like,
for Best Actor, I think. Yeah. Oh, yeah, an action game. But yeah, like
Mhm.
Best Actor for Cameron Monaghan, and it's like, it blows my mind because it's like yeah, like that game is incredible, but then you think and you put it up against the other games that were nominated, and it's just like, what an amazing year for gaming. I mean, like Baldur's Gate 3, Tears of the Kingdom, and we've talked about it a little bit, but it's just, it didn't really hit me until I was playing Survivor and realizing, like, this is one of my favorite games of all time, and I haven't even finished it yet, and it doesn't even qualify as like the best game of last year. You know, like,
mhm.
it's, I don't know, just something that's a kind of an interesting. We were blessed in the gaming community last year in terms of quality of games that came out, for sure.
Yeah, there were a lot of good games, because then you also had like Hogwarts Legacy that came out during the
Yeah.
year, and like, as you said, like Tears of the Kingdom came out and it wasn't even the game of the year. Like,
Exactly,
Yeah.
right? No, I mean, like, yeah, I mean, like, Spider-Man 2, Hogwarts Legacy, Tears of the Kingdom, Baldur's Gate 3, Jedi Survivor. I mean, like, so many amazing games. The
Yeah,
only
I
thing
mean,
we're
I-
missing is Hollow Knight still.
Pretty good year.
Yeah, I talked about it a little bit like when we were live at the Game Awards, but I feel like all of the COVID games are
Yeah.
finally coming out, all of the big COVID pet projects. And I
Yeah.
think that's why we're getting such amazing games right now.
Yeah. Yeah, with such like insane amounts of depth to them because they
Yeah.
they just had the time they had the time to do it, you know.
It was funny though. I was when I was prepping for this episode last night, and I was like, okay, yeah, retrospect. How was 2023 for me for gaming? And I was thinking back. I don't know if this is a good or a bad thing. I genuinely don't think I started genuinely playing a new game at all last year.
Bro just played Overwatch and then watched Overwatch.
Like the
League
biggest
die.
thing, the biggest things that happened was that like I got more into Osu because I got a drawing tablet for it, and then I joined an Overwatch team. But yeah, like everything in 2023 was like I got to go to Toronto to watch the Overwatch League and was on an Overwatch team, and then just watch the Overwatch League fall apart.
Yeah. A soul for a soul.
So my 2023 was awesome, but not because I played any new games.
Yeah.
It was a year, but for different reasons.
For different reasons.
One of the years of all
One of
time.
the years of all time.
It certainly was one of the years of all time for me. How is Lillian, Ben? How were your 2023 gaming years?
Honestly, a lot better than the other ones because I actually played new games. I got really into Phasmophobia. I got really into Fortnite. So
Who did that? Who got him into Fortnite? It actually
honestly,
wasn't me.
Blake.
Yeah, it wasn't me actually. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Well, he got into the curse of game. What about for you, Lillian?
Honestly, I don't play games a whole lot. I more watch other people play games. But it was a great year for watching other people play games because I really liked a lot of the Tears of the Kingdom content that came out, and yeah, my husband really likes Lego Fortnite now.
That's
I
because
played
your
Lego
husband has
Fortnite
good
for a
taste.
Lego Fortnite.
Yep, and I finally got some consoles, so I do actually play video games, just not very often. So I did actually beat one of my first video games to actually like beat the entirety of
Ooh, which one?
Super Mario Odyssey.
I love Super Mario Odyssey.
It's a really good game, and I think it was this year that I actually beat the entirety of a game for the first time probably in my life. So
What was-
kudos to you?
What was the first game you guys beat all the way through? I'm curious.
Oi.
I think that would probably be for me. The OG Angry Birds.
Angry Bird.
For me, it was probably one of the two Lego Star Wars games.
Oh, actually, that's probably true.
Yeah, no, I guess
I
that's
think it
fair.
was probably one of them,
I don't know if I even
or
beat
Smash
those.
Bros. Melee.
Yeah, probably like Lego Star Wars on DS.
Yeah.
I don't even think I beat Lego Star Wars.
Because for
Not
me,
counting Lego
not
games.
counting Lego games.
Not counting Lego games.
For me, it was
It's mine would be
probably
Lego
either
games,
it was either Smash Bros. Melee or Mario Kart Double Dash. I think.
Are those games you can beat?
How do you beat
How do you
Double
beat
Dash?
Double
Well, you
Dash?
just unlock everything. Like you
fair,
get the gold trophies, unlock all the cards, all the characters. I mean, Smash is the same way, unlock all the stages, all the characters. I remember specifically like every time we'd play, because you're like, how do I unlock these characters? And like Mewtwo, you had to have like a certain number of like co-op hours or like versus mode. So you would just set a versus mode with no items on a stage that doesn't move and just leave the GameCube on overnight, and then you come back in the morning and end the match and just beat Mewtwo.
Or at least that's what you did.
That's what me and my brother would do. That's every time we were doing. Anytime we did a fresh run through of Melee, we were like, oh wait, we'll do Mewtwo first. Just leave it on for one night, because I think you had to have like 60 hours, so you do it like 1 or 2 days, and you'd get him. So, anyways, that's not 2023 though. So, well,
Yeah.
speaking of maybe not watching people play video games, but gaming. Matthew Pathew. He earlier this week we got the unfortunate sad news that MatPat will be stepping away from YouTube. What is it, March
9th, I think.
March 9th. Let me
March 9th.
double check on that one. but I believe it was he'll be walking away from YouTube. He'll like still be a part of the Game Theory like channel and all of that, but he won't be the face of it anymore. He'll be more of an advisory role, and the 4 other creators that he's had on and off the channel will take over as the hosts. It's this year, 2023, and I guess the first bit of 2024 is we're seeing a lot of our YouTubers, step away from content one way or another. Like Captain Sparkles is stopping his like highly edited content. We saw like PewDiePie had a child and is taking a step back a little bit. Like
Mini Lad, Tom Scott.
Like, Markiplier's still around, but
I mean, honestly, like I've been watching some of Markiplier's videos. He does like not seem to be enjoying Let's Play as much as he did.
No, he doesn't.
No. I wouldn't be surprised if Markiplier is the next one to announce
he
some sort of break.
Steps away and kind of just starts doing like film production full time.
Yeah. Well, because you got to think, I mean, he's making what's that movie?
Iron Lung.
Iron Lung, and like that's got to be taking up a ton of his time and energy.
Well, and I mean, I think it wasn't just the MatPat and like 1 or 2 others YouTubers. It's like they appeared in a film and then like less than like 6 months later they step away from YouTube. So I think Markiplier's here until Iron Lung releases. Iron Lung will release. We'll give him 3 months and then he'll probably.
We were saved by Markiplier not appearing in the FNAF movie. We got a few extra.
We get extra time.
We get extra time with him.
Yeah. So it was when I saw that like YouTube announcement, I was like, not the goodbye. Oh no, not another one of these. No. Because it was such a sad video.
It was getting kind of worrying because Jacksepticeye tweeted.
Yes.
Watching that made me realize that I am also 34 years old.
Yeah, I like Jacksepticeye, Markiplier are still around. Like technically, Captain Sparkles is still around. He just isn't making the highly edited content anymore. But he's still doing live streams and uploading stuff. So like technically, he's not gone. But like the content that we grew up with is starting from those creators is starting to kind of shift away into a slightly different form.
One of my favorite YouTubers, Video Game Donkey. Immediately after all of this, all the MatPat stuff, he put out a video that just says, "I'm not quitting YouTube," and like that's the whole video is just like him like super serious. He's like, "Guys, I have a very important announcement to make. I'm not quitting YouTube."
I can hear that in his voice too.
And then like all the comments are like, "I'm gonna miss you, Donkey. YouTube will be the same with you here." But, so not everyone's leaving.
Well, and it's crazy because it's like we see all these YouTubers leaving, and then I don't know how much you guys keep up with like traditional sports, but like in the football world, like Bill Belichick is like he's no longer with the Patriots. Pete Carroll's no longer with the Seahawks. Nick Saban is retired from Alabama. Yeah. Like all of these like greats in various industries that we grew up with are now like leaving.
Yeah.
From the things we knew. Old. My favorite thing from all of this, though, is like Nick Saban is retired from Alabama, and people on the Alabama campus are like going to the statue that he has on campus and like leaving gifts like he's dead. Like, guys, you realize Nick Saban's still around, right?
He's just going
just taking up.
There was a video of him like walking into the office like the day after he announced his retirement. Like he's still around, guys.
Well, and that's the interesting thing with MatPat is from the context of his video, from what we know from his video, it seems like he's not like dying, like he's not, he's just, he's
MatPat has cancer.
He's not dying.
He's just like stepping back, and like he'll take more of a role, like a behind the scenes role, like you said. But then also like he mentioned that like he'll still be making like special appearances. He mentioned they're doing Fashion Theory is doing some sort of like fashion show, and he said I'll be hosting that. I'll be making these fun guest appearances every once in a while. And I'll still be there and helping out. He's just taking a step back from the.
Yeah, it seems like he's doing a similar thing that Linus did, with LTT, and that Linus no longer is like in all of the videos and is like the lead in the face, but he's still there, just in an advisory role. So it seems like that's for these YouTubers that do have bigger brands that are past just them, like they just aren't the ones spearheading the videos anymore, but they're still there with a say in the content that's made and aren't gone. Just they're no longer in the role that we're used to them being in.
Well, and that's the other thing is he said, and I feel like kind of like what you were talking about with Markiplier, where he's now like, oh, I'm gonna do. He's making movies and stuff. That was kind of MatPat's thing too. Is he was like, and I'm not just like I'm not just like completely retiring. He's like, I kind of want to move into make other stuff, you know. So he was talking about how he might, you know, he's got a game idea for like a video series that he could make, or like a game series that he can make, and you know he now has the internet backing and the funds to do that, you know. Like he's got the name and the money for it, and so it's like, I don't know, I'm curious to see. I think we're going to enter a period here before too long where people that we grew up with like making content about other people's content are going to be the ones now making
content,
their own content, and I think it's going to be, we're going to get some really cool stuff from that.
And then we get to make content reacting to their time
really
is a flat circle.
And then
time really is a flat circle.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think it should be interesting to see. I think we're going to get an influx of a lot of like really cool, really passionate projects made by these people like MatPat, who really care about what they're doing, and we're gonna kind of get to play and watch the fruit of that passion, you know.
Yeah, it's the era of the shift. The content shift has already begun,
and now we are left with Skibbity Toilet.
No, stop.
No, but that's what I'm saying. We won't be for long, because eventually we're gonna have all the good stuff that like MatPat goes on to make, and other creators like him, that we're gonna be able to, you know, experience.
Yeah, not Skibbity Toilet. Don't do it, Ben. Not Skibbity Toilet. We have to be wary of that, and we also have to be wary of AI. You like that transition? Lillian, tell us about the very strange deal that was made by the Actors Guild.
Yeah, so SAG-AFTRA, which is like a voice actor union, I think, announced they're making a deal to allow AI generated voice acting. So it's honestly not, a lot of the articles that I read on it said that it wasn't super clear all the details of the deal, but there's a lot of concerns amongst. The deal is basically meant to make it easier for people to like license their voices for AI to be used, I think is what it is. And so there is a lot of concern, especially amongst like up and coming voice actors, with this making it so that then game companies will purchase the rights to use, you know, the big name voice actors in AI generated text. Like they would just, AI voice generators would use one of the bigger actors' voices. They could just license it, and then they could buy the rights to it, and then they can make whatever they want with this actor's voice in their video games, which really gets rid of a lot of work for smaller voice actors. And there's a lot of concern with that. And even when they made the announcement, they said that they had spoken to some of the voice actors within the community, and they had said that was a good idea. And then a bunch of people are coming out and saying, no, we were never told that this was going to happen. We were never informed of this deal. This is not a good idea. This is a bad idea.
No.
They must have used the AI versions of those voice actors' voices to say yes.
That's it. That's what they did. They asked the computer and then made the computer speak on their behalf. That's what it was.
Yes, I am insert actor name here, and I do agree that AI voices are good.
Yeah.
They're like Weekend at Bernie's or whatever, where it's just like, you have full consent, legal consent, just Yeah, I agree. Full on
No
puppeteering.
quarrels with this.
Yeah,
Full
so
on
there's a lot
puppeteering.
of controversy blowing up about that right now because people are very concerned about this destroying a lot of work in the voice acting community.
Well, and it's not good for consumers either because I mean I don't know, maybe eventually AI will be able to effectively replicate you know, human emotion, but at the time, no, it can't. You know, like
Yeah.
And so it's like, you know, I mean, I feel like I'm just thinking back on any number of gaming experiences, God of War, Ragnarok, more recently Survivor, you know, Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild. Like, imagine some of those like really emotional voice acted moments in those games, and it's just like, and it's just AI, you know, like, yeah, sure, it may be AI of Chris Pratt's voice, but it's still AI, you know, like. And so it's just like
I don't know if you want to use Chris Pratt's voice as the baseline for good voice acting.
Well, no, I'm just saying like it's a big name actor, you know, but it's still AI, you know.
I
so
know
it's like,
that what some companies did, because I know that I think Lucasfilm did this, Disney did it with Obi-Wan, is that they took like an actual voice acted segment and then used AI to make that sound more like what they were going for. So
And
it's like
that's
they
when it
weren't
should
they
be
weren't
used.
going completely synthetic. They were combining synthetic with an actual performance, because
or like
otherwise
Cyberpunk did that.
Because otherwise, if you don't do that, you do lose out on a natural human inflection, and AI is not very good at hitting any sort of inflection. Like some are okay, some are okay, but like AI voices don't do emotion very well. But if you have someone else who sounds similar to what you're going for act it out, and then you just use AI to just make their voice sound like what you want, you still get all of the natural inflections, and it just sounds more human.
What it really is to me, what the difference kind of is there, I feel like, is it's the difference between like a piece of music that's written on a computer program, you know? And so it's like all
it's
the
like when
instruments.
you listen to it on MuseScore versus actually in person.
Or even like because it's like a recorded version of a live orchestra still has that live aspect of it where it's actual musicians playing. But I'm thinking like, you know, like something made in GarageBand, you know, or like or something to that. I mean,
well, it's like the human error component. Like if you attend like a professional orchestra, like they're professional, but they're still human. So there's gonna be those little imperfections in the sound because a human is playing the instrument. And it's the same with voice acting. It's like if you have an AI do it, an AI voice is never gonna have their voice crack in an emotional moment. It's just not gonna happen. Like it's a perfect voice. Whereas
and then like even with like auto-tune, like you can tell when things are auto-tuned because it's just too perfect, and it's kind of in that uncanny valley of slightly uncomfortable because it's too perfect.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that this deal doesn't mean that it's just everything's gonna be synthetic, and it's like an indie company is making a game, and it's like, oh, instead of hiring you know these lesser known voice actors, we're just gonna go and get a AI version of Matthew McConaughey to play the protagonist.
All right.
I mean,
and so that's
the concern. That's why the deal was so weird to everybody from the outside.
Yeah, it's something people have been concerned about for a while, and now to have an actual official deal out there definitely makes it even more concerning.
It is a little strange. So I mean, I assume we'll see more how it develops in the coming months, and especially any projects that are being developed now that might be using this in their casting process to see what we end up with, because it goes either in the way of all it does is just helps games have better performances in there, and that allows more people to be involved, or we just start seeing in the rolling credits of AI generated of just insert famous actor here, and suddenly the indie side of the voice acting community just kind of falls over.
Fizzles out. Yeah.
I mean, actually, to be fair, using Chris Pratt as your analogy isn't the worst, because Chris Pratt's voice acting is going to sound the same.
Oh
even with AI.
Okay, and on that note, the major news, as far as I'm aware, did we miss anything big? I don't know. Something probably happened over Christmas break that we weren't paying attention because we were too busy celebrating Christmas.
Christmas happened.
Christmas
Yeah,
happened.
Christmas.
Yay.
Christmas. Merry Chrysler.
Merry Christmas.
So, now we're done with the news. Now we get to the fun stuff. So,
Fun part.
This is where the fun begins.
as the single person who's been watching since or listening since season 1 will remember, back in the dawn of the podcast, the
Long before time.
the 5 of us original members of the podcast, we all came forward with grids, 9 of our favorite games, and proceeded to bash each other over the head with how weird some of the games were, and had a jolly good time for like 2 hours. Just because Lillian came after season 1 doesn't mean she's exempt from that. So what we're gonna do with this being her first like full episode as a official host, it's Lillian's turn to present her game grid.
Yes.
I don't have it set up in production because I didn't want to spoil it for myself. So as I am trying to get this all set up, Court, you remember, Court Ben, you remember how it went when we did our
Yeah.
little shenanigans fest. What did you walk away scarred from those experiences?
Wait, which shenanigans fest are we referring
The
to?
very
'Cause
first
I'm pretty sure
episode.
every
Remember
episode
the
has
very-
been shenanigans.
the
Very
very
first, we did our
first
3x3
episode.
grid.
Oh yeah,
our
okay,
3x3
those
grids.
specific shenanigans.
I need
Honestly,
you to
I think
stall
I
for
walked
time
away a
as I
better
set up.
person.
You walked away as a better person.
A better person, because I realized, like, I have played a lot of games in the past, but right now my games are very limited. I seem to be only playing League, and that means I have to broaden my horizons, and that's what I did. I started playing other games, and I mean, things looking pretty great. I still play a little bit of League, but it's mostly Phasmophobia or Minecraft or Terraria, and so I mean, these games have led me to like building better relationships with people. One particular relationship.
I was like, okay, and
I'm just saying, if I hadn't been playing Minecraft that one night, might not be married right now.
true.
Wow.
So,
This is true.
lesson learned: don't play League, play Minecraft.
Wow, look at the
Or even
character,
just don't
the
play-
character growth.
The character.
Crazy.
Ben's
character growth.
redemption arc from being a League player.
I'm getting everything sized right now so that it fits into
Well,
the.
I walked away from that experience with a darkened heart, a blackened lung, and just kidding. No,
And Black Lung.
no.
Black lung.
I don't know. I walked away from that experience remembering, oh dang, Force Unleashed is a really good game, and I kind of want to play it again, and so I did.
Wow.
Nice.
And
Okay,
that's-
I've got it.
that's-
Okay, Lillian, you can send that in the group channel so that Court and Ben can see it. So she's got 2. She has one of just mobile games and one of her like her actual like real games. So we'll look at
Mobile game
the
fans
actual
in
games
arms
for.
rioting. And then Aiden
Listen,
just said that.
I will not. I will never side with the mobile game community. So I've pulled up her 3x3 grid on the main feed
All right.
here.
Shall I send it just in the general?
Send it in general. Court and Ben can see it.
Wait, in Discord.
Yeah, it'll be in the Discord. So
Alright,
the
send it
first
on
thing
the
that I'm gonna say here, I count one game that is not Nintendo.
Taste. Taste.
I count any single non-Nintendo related game.
Yeah. Well, all I had growing up, we had a Wii for most of my childhood that I
She's
remember.
still sending it in the chat. I can
I'm
send it.
still
if
sending it in the
needed.
chat.
Here,
I got it. I got
okay,
it.
You got it. You got it.
She's got it. She's got it.
I got
There we
it.
go. Okay, so the one on the left is the one we're
There it
looking
is.
at right now. You two.
All right.
I count
Yes.
3 Zelda games, technically 3.5 Zelda games, 3.5 Mario games.
3.5?
Well, Smash Bros.
Oh, fair.
Yeah. So
I also kind of you say the only one of them is not a Nintendo game, but I also kind of associate Boomerang Fu with Nintendo.
Oh, so is it
I've
just
Because
only
9?
played
So
it
we're
on
just
the
saying
Switch.
it's just 9 Nintendo games?
yeah.
Extra based.
So I thought about putting Halo on there, but I've never actually like played anything.
Never.
Yeah, that would be
played
kind
it.
of silly.
So I used to play Halo a lot with my brother, but
Mhm.
not the actual game mode, like the game modes, not
Not the story.
actual
Not the
Halo.
campaign.
But I mean,
Yeah.
that's like half the fun of
That's
Halo,
half.
really.
I mean, half the
is
fun of
moving
Halo is the
around.
campaign.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you, I mean, it is the versus mode. So if you had put Halo on here and then said I've never
Yeah.
actually played the campaign, we wouldn't have ragged on you too much for it.
I mean, I would have
I
felt
mean,
sorry
given
for
I
you if you
literally
haven't
haven't
experienced
finished a
campaign.
game except for Super Mario Odyssey, I think it wouldn't really be that different from the
Meanwhile,
rest of my
with,
gaming
with
habits.
3 games on here that are story based and should be completed.
Yeah.
Wii Sports Resort is one of those.
I
games.
did almost all of Breath of the Wild, but I have not done the Ganon fight, so I technically have
Okay,
not
so
finished
you've
it.
done all but the very final, the boss.
Yes. And I have done a large portion of Wind Waker, and I have done very little of Skyward Sword, but I really liked the game, and I really want the what on the Switch. So.
I really love the Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Winter Games shout.
Mhm.
I can get behind giving a shout out to the Mario and Sonic games.
I played that game all the time with my next door neighbor. It was like she would come over to my house, and that was what we did, was we played that game all the time. And
I just
she did not have any video games at home, so video games were very much like a foreign concept to her. But she would come over and we would play Mario and Sonic at the Olympic. I would go over to her place and we'd do like outdoor activities and
Mhm.
play. She had a pool table, so we'd play pool. But she would come over to my house and it was Mario and Sonic in the Olympic Winter Games.
Yeah, let's go.
Yep. Sometimes we'd also play Wii Sports Resort, which is why those are on there, because I played a lot of those.
Those were the
Were you-
I
childhood
played
games.
so much Wii Sports
No,
Resort.
so did I.
I think if you're asking for games I've beaten, I don't know if the Swordplay campaign counts. I played through that like 6 times.
Wait, you actually beat it though? I cannot beat that swordplay campaign.
It's so
I played-
hard.
especially those last few levels,
He can't do
like
it.
where you get those big guys that have like 4 health.
Yeah.
No, I
Yeah,
can't do it.
you block
Hut.
and then they swing. You gotta be fast about it.
Yeah,
but
parry.
They swing. Yeah, parry.
Yeah.
Parry system is how you win.
Are your reflexes just not fast enough, Court?
Your reaction's
I'm
just
not
not fast.
Yeah, pretty much.
I need to be fast.
Your reaction's not just your reaction's just not fast enough. Court takes 5 seconds
Takes
to respond.
5 seconds to respond.
Yeah.
So
Sorry,
that makes sense that those two are on there then.
reaction's
They're
just
like childhood bonding games that you had with
Really?
your friend.
Yeah.
And then
Yep.
we know that Zelda games are a big thing of yours. So why? And you talked about Wind Waker already in a previous episode.
Yes.
So what's with the what about the other two? Why are the other two on there?
I really like games that are not super difficult. So that's a big reason. Breath of the Wild, I felt like was, especially so I don't actually own any of those Zelda games, which
Wait a minute.
I actually don't. Well, so they're all at my house in Boston.
Well, then you own them then. You just don't have them with you.
Well, technically, they are also all owned by one of my siblings. So Wind Waker, I would say, is owned by my older sister, and Skyward Sword is owned by my brother, and Breath of the Wild is owned by my little sister. I have played them all at home because that is where they live.
Got it. Okay.
Lillian, do you want to borrow my copy of Breath of the Wild? It is sitting in my Switch case, completely untouched. Because if I ever feel the need to play it, I don't. But I'll just play Tears of the Kingdom. You can borrow it.
Okay, that
If
is
you
good
want.
to know. I may take you up on that. Yeah, so I really like Breath of the Wild. I actually haven't played Tears of the Kingdom, even though my sister has it. I just have watched a whole crap ton of content on it. I've watched people play all sorts of different challenge videos on both Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that game just had so much to it, and it was very much groundbreaking in like the video game industry. Breath of the Wild was, and I loved the freedom of it, where you could just kind of go anywhere and do whatever you want. I felt like that was really fun. Skyward Sword, I really like the art style of it. I feel like it's a somewhat different art style compared to the other Zelda games. I mean, all of them are somewhat unique in their own art styles, but I particularly like Skyward Sword. I feel like it's it's often underrated.
I agree. Skyward Sword's art style was kind of almost like it aimed to make everything look like a painting almost.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it didn't land for some people, but I really liked it. I thought it was a really cool, like, this vibe that it had.
And I love the plot of it. I like a lot of like the demon guy under the island. I just think it has so much character to it as a game. I really like Skyward Sword.
Also, everybody hates on. Okay, really quick. Do you guys pronounce it Fi or Fee?
I think it's Fee.
I pronounce it faux fum, but
Yeah, everybody hates on Fee. I don't know why, because I really like her as a character.
Honestly, I mean, I was little, and so Skyward Sword, in terms of games that we played that were like the first games that we like fully completed that aren't Lego games or other things like that, Skyward Sword was that for me. It was one of the very first, if not the first, like non-Lego game that I like fully completed. And like, so I was pretty little, but I remember like in that scene when Fee like says goodbye to you when you put the Master Sword away, I was like that was one of the very first times that a game like genuinely made me tear up. Like,
yeah, it is a very emotional
scene. They did a really good job with the characters in that game.
Yeah, I don't know why everybody hates on Fee, because I like the Master Sword in. I don't remember whether it was in. I think it was in like one of the Tears of the Kingdom trailers. The Master Sword made like the sound that like Fee makes. Which is probably just a typical Master Sword sound, but like I immediately thought of Fee. I was like, are they bringing Fee back in Tears of the Kingdom? And I got so excited, but they weren't.
No, they do it a couple times in Breath of the Wild too. They make the Fee sound, and was never heard before Fee, and so like it's a really cool piece of. Yeah. There's also a couple like when you fully upgrade the Master Sword in Breath of the Wild after doing the DLC, and you and it's like been fully upgraded, you've done all the trials of the sword, you lift up the sword and it plays the Fee sound, and then it like briefly plays Fee's like theme in the background.
Yeah.
And such a good moment. It was awesome.
Yep. So I really liked Skyward Sword. Everybody likes Twilight Princess. It's everybody's favorite, but I just struggled so much because it's such a hard game.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, Twilight Princess is the only Zelda game I've played, so.
Yeah. And it's a really great game, but because I struggle to complete games and to get all the way through, it is unfortunately not at the top of my list because it's so hard.
And now we've got the bottom left corner. We got Mario Odyssey. I assume it's on there as that's the only game, or one of the only ones you've ever completed. And it's a recent game as well, so it's fresh in your mind.
Yes, so I own that one. That's one of the few on here that I actually own.
She owns it. Let's go, guys.
Woo! That's like here in Provo that I own.
You can play it whenever you want. Yeah.
I can play whenever I want. I really like Mario Odyssey. I feel like for my skill level of playing video games, it is just fun. It's not as punishing as other games are when you mess up, which I feel like that's something that gets me really frustrated when you have to go all the way back because it's got the checkpoints. And I feel like, I don't know, I just find it really enjoyable. And also like the challenge runs that I've seen other streamers and YouTubers make are very entertaining to watch.
Checks out.
Yeah.
Is it
I will
like
say-
Small Ant?
Yes,
Small-
I watch a
lot of
lot of
small
small
ants.
ants.
Small ant. I will say, just basing on what I'm hearing that you're saying that you like about Mario Odyssey, a game that I would suggest to you to get is
Dark
Kirby and
Souls.
the Forgotten Land. No, not Dark Souls.
Kirby in the Forgotten Land.
Kirby and the
I've
Forgotten
seen
Land.
it. Looks really good.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I've played through it a little bit, and it reminds me a lot of Odyssey in a lot of the best ways. And it is also not a very punishing game because it's Kirby.
Yes.
But like,
Yeah, I watched
Oh, yeah.
a playthrough of it, and it looks like a game that I would enjoy a
yeah,
lot.
it is a fun game, and you can play it co-op. The whole thing is playable in co-op with
There
the
you
second
go.
person being
Mm-hmm.
my son Bandana Wallaby. He's up here.
Oh, he's like, I've got to get him. Getting?
I'm getting him. Here he is. This is my boy. This is my child.
Here we go. Yeah.
Waddle Dee has the Triforce.
Yeah.
Yes.
Waddle Dee is the triboard.
Waddle Dee could lift Mjolnir. You can't tell me otherwise.
We've also got Mario Kart 8 and Smash Ultimate, which I feel like those need no introduction
Yeah.
or justification. Those are like the ultimate party games of
Yes.
today.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very much a social gamer. I really enjoy playing party games like Boomerang. Boomerang Fu is another kind of party game.
Mm-hmm.
I've never actually
I-
played Boomerang Fu. What is this game?
It's really fun. It's like more party than game, like similar to Smash.
Yeah,
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
but it's not like a fighting game. It's like it's kind of got like a top-down
Yeah.
perspective, and it's
Okay.
like your various kinds of like foods,
Mhm.
and you have boomerangs, and you throw boomerangs, and you try to cut the other foods in half with your boomerangs,
Oh.
Yep.
and it's I mean I've had fun playing it. I am awful at it, and so I like, and all my friends are really really good at it. So like I always have a really hard time playing it because I just
Yeah.
get destroyed.
I'm
But-
not very
but
good
it's-
at it either, but my husband and his friends play it all the time, and
You see,
they
you
play
get- you
like
get
all
your-
these
your
different
in.
game modes. You can get they play like hide and seek in it, so you can there's disguise little like power-ups.
Mhm.
And they'll like all get the disguise one, and then they'll all go hide on the map, and then one person has to find everybody,
Oh.
which I feel like it's a game that there's a lot of
There's a lot of
ways
like,
that you can play it that are not necessarily the intended way.
yeah.
Fair enough.
It's have you guys ever played Stick Fight? The
Mm-hmm.
the landfall game Stick
Yeah,
Fight?
yeah.
Kind of like imagine if Stick Fight was more top down, and so like
Mhm.
3D, not 2D, and then also you were playing as Little Food, and also you were throwing boomerangs at each other. But it's that same energy. It's that same like chaotic, just
Mhm.
goofy, like
Is it like kind of the same kind of vibe as like Gang Beasts and stuff?
Yeah,
just
it's
like-
kind of like
It's got
that.
some
It's,
Gang Beasts
You play the
isms
game
to it.
for the shenanigans and not
Yeah,
like
yeah.
actually.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like-
exactly. Like it's some random thing will happen, and you can't even be mad at the game because that's just the game. It's just goofy, and it's just
Yeah.
fun. It's pretty. But there also is like it's interesting because there is like a real technical side to it where like it's
There's
very
a technical side to every
precise.
like
if you
Mhm.
play it that way. Yeah, that's
any
fair.
fighting
But-
or platformer.
Yeah.
There's always min maxing of literally everything, whether the developers want it or not.
that's fair.
Yeah.
So
So it's a really fun game. I really honestly, when I play games, I prefer playing them with other people around.
Mhm.
I feel like it's more fun that way.
Yeah.
So
that checks out. Now you also gave us a second 3x3 grid. This is unprecedented. The rest of us got 9. You get another 9.
Chaz,
However,
this is weird.
these are like half games because you gave us a list of just a bunch of mobile games.
So-
that is discrimination against mobile games.
no,
Like, don't even play
I will.
mobile games,
No,
but-
okay. Listen, I'm sorry, but if you only play mobile games, you're in a different camp of gamer. I'm sorry. I said it. You can hang me. I don't care. I'm standing by that. Okay. My opinion is if you only play mobile games, you're in a different camp. But if you play both, like that's fine. Like both is cool. But if you only play mobile games, no, we're not doing that here. Not for me.
Yeah.
Waddle Dee's
So in terms of like actual time spent on games, I definitely spend way more time on mobile games. And so I figured it was only appropriate to also send in the mobile games that I play.
What is funny is that like three or four of them are like mobile versions of a different IP. So you have you have two mobile Pokemon games. You got Pikmin, you got Animal Crossing. So it's like I want more of these games, so I'm gonna play the mobile version as well.
Yeah, pretty much. A lot of it is something weird about my ADHD is that for whatever reason, the effort that it takes to turn on a console and like actually boot up the game makes it so that I don't play it very often. Even if I have plenty of time, I am so much more likely to spend that time, like those hours, on a game that only takes me 2 seconds to load up versus a game that takes me 2 minutes to load up.
Right.
And so like I will even consciously just be like, you know what, I'd rather go play some Animal Crossing on my phone than play this like Mario Odyssey on the Switch, even though I know that I would have more fun on Mario Odyssey. I just
That makes sense.
So I play a lot of mobile games. Are there any that, I mean, so obviously I'll go through them because I'm gonna guess that you may not recognize them. Animal Crossing Pocket Camp, it's Animal Crossing mobile.
I have played a bit of Pocket Camp, and it's pretty fun. It's the Animal Crossing formula transfers very well to
mobile. I would imagine it would.
Yep.
Yes, it definitely transfers really well to mobile format, and that is something that I really enjoy. And it has like fun quests, and something I appreciate about it that you don't get in a lot of mobile games is even though there is some like paid options on it, I feel like you can still experience the entirety of the game without spending any real money.
Well, that's good.
That's something that I look for in my mobile games, is games where you can actually
dodge the gacha games, please.
Yeah, because there's a lot of games out there where they would be really fun, but there's like you can only really fully experience them if you pay a bunch of money for a monthly subscription.
Dodge the gacha games, quick. Kyle's not here anymore. He can't defend Genshin. Dodge the gacha games.
Yep.
We just start unloading on Genshin. Genshin
dodge the gacha games. Don't do it.
Yep. And then Pokemon Go is kind of a classic.
That is
game.
the ultimate Nintendo mobile game.
Yep. And I definitely when I first started playing Pokemon Go, I had never really played I played a Pokemon game, but I didn't understand it, so I didn't get past like the first trainer. And so I definitely, when I first started playing it, I was like, wow, this is really fun. But definitely I could see Nintendo could make a lot of improvements on it, so I can understand why somebody who is a more avid Pokemon fan like my husband, why they think that it's a big disappointment.
Understandable.
Yeah, it's totally understandable, but I find it very fun. I really like the idea of finding Pokemon in your like physical space.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. Oh, sorry, you keep going.
They've changed a lot of how you play it. Like I logged on the other day and there was a whole new thing like with like trails that you could follow, and I was like, I haven't seen that before. Or maybe that was anyways.
Maybe I need to re-download Pokemon Go.
Pokemon's going.
I mean,
they're still updating it.
And that's kind of the thing that I've realized is like, I mean, I don't know, it's, you say like, oh, my husband doesn't like it because he's more of a fan of the hardcore Pokemon and stuff, but like I have friends who are really into like the hardcore Pokemon, like the original Pokemon, but still also really like Pokemon Go. So like you can have both. Like there is a crossover, and Pokemon Go is in a much different state from what I understand. I don't have it, but in a much different state than it was when it first released.
Oh, well, when it first released, Pokemon Go was a mess. I mean,
Yeah.
it was so easy to like cheat the geolocation in there and go wherever you wanted. And then it was just like really janky and
Me on my way to Brazil to pick up the region-specific Pokemon.
And it was really janky in how you'd catch Pokemon. And then it's like everybody was playing it. So I just remember all the videos on social media of people just mobbing and like in New York, and people in New York and in other big cities just like all running down Central Park because they see a legendary. And like I know people still do that. It was something that was really interesting. I think it was last semester. I was on campus just kind of walking around, and there's a surprising number of students who are like on campus on Sundays playing Pokemon Go. Like they're just out for a walk.
There's a lot of students.
And they're using the time on campus to play Pokemon Go, and I saw them doing that. Like I wasn't sure what they were doing because they had their phones up, but then I overheard them say something Pokemon related, and I was like, "That's actually pretty cool." That that's kind of what some people like to do.
There is a Pokemon Go club on campus, so.
Yeah. I still have a very distinct memory of that summer in 2016, like going and visiting my uncle in wherever he lived, and we were just like driving around the neighborhood, and there was like 5 distinct groups of like 12 people that were just like out and about. It was like right after Pokemon Go had released, and like like we would like roll down the windows and be like, "You guys catch anything?" And they'd be like, "There's a Pikachu over there," like and just like everyone knew what everyone else was doing out there, and it was just like you just see people out, and it was like tons of people. Like I don't know, that was a unique time in history.
It was definitely during COVID I played a lot of Pokemon Go because it was the only way to actually go outside. It was like an excuse to go outside, and
touch grass.
Yeah. So Pikmin Bloom, that's the next one, is pretty much like the Pikmin version of Pokemon Go. So
walking around and catching Pikmin?
Yeah, it's walking around and getting Pikmin, and there's like flowers that you bloom. But yeah, they pretty much just said, let's take everything from Pokemon Go and make it a little bit more chill.
What if we made it Pikmin?
And Pikmin, yeah. So I play that a lot just because a lot of my mobile games I play because like my siblings play it. So I play that because my sister plays it, and it's fun to play games with people. Yep. So then the next one is Solitaire. I just play that whenever
That's your
I'm
idle
bored.
game?
Yeah, that's my idle game because it makes me feel smart.
Fair enough.
Is it bad that I have no idea how to play Solitaire?
No.
Yes.
No.
Okay, well, I guess
Shame.
I guess
Shame.
it is.
I've just never sat down and learned. I don't know what it is.
It's okay.
It's more fun to play on this mobile. It has a bunch of different game modes, like Solitaire modes. So
Solitaire Battle Royale. That's more court.
Spider Solitaire.
Spider Solitaire, yeah.
Across the Solitaire verse.
Solitaire across the Solitaire.
Yes.
The word bubbles. That's a fun one.
Yeah. So Wordscapes, it's like just like a word game. I like word games. My mom is the best at word games. She is almost always on the leaderboards of whatever word game she's playing. She's typically like number 1. But so I kind of got that from her. But I only play one word game, so she plays like 5. And then Two Dots is like a puzzle game.
I think I played Two Dots a long time ago. I vaguely remember it.
It's been around for a long time, so I've been playing Two Dots for like a really long time. But it's another one of those where you can still have fun with it without having to pay real money.
Yeah, it's another one of the idle games. It's kind of like, I've got 10 minutes to kill. Let me pull out Two Dots.
Yeah. Yep. And that's also what Matchington Mansion is. It's like Candy Crush, but I like this one better.
Fair enough.
Pokemon Cafe, I like it because it's adorable.
That's real. That is all. That's all the justification you need. Yeah.
That's all you need to say.
It's like literally just Pokemon in little chef's outfits, and you get to unlock the more Pokemon and put them in chef's outfits and unlock different colors of their outfits.
That
And-
genre,
And
that
very
genre,
cute chef
that
outfits.
genre of
I'm very
game
sold.
is a fun genre where it's like
Look
Yes.
there's
at
the
the
only
hat.
objective of the game is to just look at these cute little animals that you get to
Yes.
raise and look
Look
after.
at the hat on that Rowlet in the corner.
It's so cute.
He's
It's
got a little like
adorable.
Newsies hat, and
Yep.
I love him, and I will do anything for that Rowlet.
Yep, so it's an adorable game, and I love it so much, and yeah. And then on the bottom right corner is Merge Dragons. It's a merge game. You've probably seen ads for similar merge games. It's
Oh, is
probably
it
like,
like that one where like you have the different kinds of cows, and then you combine them together, and it makes like new kinds of cows.
yeah, kind
What?
of similar. Yeah, so you've got
With dragons.
dragons though in this one, and it's
Yeah.
like a grid, and you like harvest things, and there's like different chains of like merging to make more things, and mostly
okay. I don't know that genre of game.
there's a ton of games, like mobile
believe it.
games, in that genre of merge games,
Mhm.
where you have like different things that you merge together to make the next like tier of the item
Yeah.
chain. And the
Mhm.
art style's really cute. There's a bunch of little like side things on the game.
Mhm.
It definitely is more the most gotcha game type game that I play.
Don't go any further.
Yeah, it definitely can still be played without paying real money, but it is the most tempting to pay real money on, and I literally have spent
Stay strong, soldier. Don't do it.
I've not spent real money on it, but I have spent hours on that game. I did calculus to like
Wait, what?
I was like trying, because in order to it's like 3 merge into 1, but then 5 merge into 2
That's
of the
not
next
how
level.
math
So
works.
you have to use calculus to like figure out like if you want to go to like level 6. I wrote an equation to like because I wanted to know how much money I had to make
Lillian's
get
playing
the level 6
8-dimensional
dragon.
What the
chess
heck
using
is
this
going on?
dragon
If I
merging
want
game.
to, if I want to have to use my brain to play a mobile game, I will play Sudoku.
So yeah, I've spent so much time on that game. I currently am taking a break from it because it takes up too much of my time.
Yeah, she's pulling out the
When I play it.
TI-84 calculator doing the dragon game. She's like, hang on, I gotta carry the 2. The
Yeah.
derivative of.
Yep. So I was doing so I did write a calculus equation for that. I don't remember.
That's actually awesome.
That's
like,
crazy.
you wrote a whole calculus equation.
That's
to,
awesome, but
That's
what
pretty
the
cool. I don't
world?
think I've ever put like.
No,
much
I've
thought,
never done
like,
that.
That's such a cool. That's awesome.
I mean, that's like
So-
calculating like drop, like the closest thing in like a traditional AAA game would be like calculating drop rates based on like percentages and spawn, like.
Well, like, yeah.
Me calculating the drop rates on Dream getting blaze rods.
Calculating the crit rate. Yeah, it's like what the.
Yeah.
Busting out
You
the
do the
calculator.
exact math to find the exact amount of bullet drop on a given gun. like,
Exactly.
the trajectory.
That's what Lillian's out here doing with her dragon game. That's crazy. I respect the dedication.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yep. So I've put a lot of time into that game, and I will never delete it.
Fair enough.
I cycle through some other mobile games where I'll like download it and then like delete it, but
Mhm.
these are
That is the
probably
mobile game cycle. That is the.
yes,
We've
these are probably the
all-
ones that I play the most.
Fair enough. Well, there were her 18 games. Ben Court, are there any? If you remember your grids, are there any amendments you want to make to that? Because that was now a year and a half ago.
Mm-hmm. I'd say I could take. I don't remember what I would take off, but I would add Wii Sports Resort.
Lillian
played the
reminded him
crap
of
out
the
of that
good
game.
times.
I don't remember enough, but I feel like the ones I put
You
on
probably had
were-
Ragnarok on there, right?
Did I?
No,
If
you
I
didn't
did-
because Ragnarok.
No, I
didn't
had
exist
the
at
original
time.
God of War, or not the
Mhm.
original, but like the 2018.
Yeah.
I still haven't finished Ragnarok.
Oh,
Yeah,
well, would you have
I've-
Tears?
I've-
Would you have Tears of the Kingdom on there?
I still haven't finished Tears of the Kingdom either.
Okay,
It's fair.
I don't know. Like I feel like those are still.
Ragnarok
there's a lot
came
of the
out
ones that
over
I
a
put
year
on
and a
there.
half ago, Court.
I know. But I feel like
I'm so sad. I'm sorry.
I know.
I feel like a lot of the ones that I put on there are pretty like timeless classic ones that I like. Like a lot of them, like I had Skyward Sword on there and I had Force Unleashed on there. Like those are ones that I could never take off because they like.
Force Unleashed was a good game.
They formed me as a gamer. Yeah, like and they're they're.
I mean, it's the same with mine. Like the only game on there that was, the only two I only had one game on there that I had started literally playing within the last year, and that was Osu, which I've now been playing for almost 2 years. Yeah. The only change I would make is I would change out Sword Art Online Fatal Bullet for Sword Art Online Hollow Realization. Because I had grinded that game a whole lot more over Thanksgiving break of 22 and Christmas break, and got a lot more out of that game. Whereas Fatal Bullet, I hadn't played it a whole lot, and Hollow Realization I think is the better game. But I would keep mine mostly the same, because most of mine, they're timeless classics. Things like Knights of the Old Republic and Portal 2. And
I don't know if I have Fortnite on my original.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, you did.
You did. There was no way you didn't have Fortnite. That'd be like me not having Overwatch or Ben not having League.
Well, right, but I don't know if I was that into Fortnite when we first started.
I'm pretty sure you were.
I'm pretty sure Court shows for Fortnite was a season 1 thing.
I think that was a season 1 thing, Court.
That's fair. Okay.
You are not escape. You cannot dodge the allegations. Unfortunately.
No. Because I was gonna say if I didn't, then I would probably put that in retroactive. I don't know what I'd replace.
Yeah, no, you definitely had. You definitely had Fort. All 4 of us had our game. I had Overwatch. Ben had League. You had Fortnite, and Kyle had Genshin. Like those were on there, guaranteed, 100%. There's no question in my mind.
Wait, did we decide what Lillian's iconic game is?
I think it was Wind Waker, wasn't it?
Oh, that's right. It was Wind Waker.
Yeah, but just kind of generally, Zelda.
Zelda games in general.
Yeah.
Because she had talked about Wind Waker. I don't remember when it was. It was in one of the episodes in season 3. I don't know.
Yeah, we did the one where we talked about our iconic games and what they meant to us.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, and
the one that you weren't there for Fortnite.
Yeah.
And Ben gave the story. It was a really enthralling. It was really intriguing to hear your backstory of Fortnite.
Fortnite. That's about it. That's about all I
say.
Make a
that.
Fortnite. All right. Well, there it is, Lynn. You've dodged that now.
Yep.
Everyone now knows your 3x3 grid. You've completed that quest.
Yeah.
I don't know of any other quests other than you'll get to cold open and host an episode now.
Yep.
And whenever that comes around, sometime in the next 3 weeks, as we rotate around. But anything to add before we wrap things up here? Going once.
Fortnite.
Okay. Well, with that, Knights of the D-Pad is an official publication of the Daily Universe. We'd like to give a special thanks to Alan Neves and Miles Romney for everything they've done, do, and will do in the future to help make this podcast a reality. Thank you so much. Also, if you'd like to reach out to us for feedback, for saying hello, for random questions, if you're interested in being on the podcast, if you're Kyle and want to have feedback now, I guess, because you're now not on the podcast, you can reach out to us at knightsofthedpad@gmail.com, all lowercase.
I really hope we get an email from Kyle.
He's gonna come after me for saying he's not here. Quick, he can't defend the gacha game. Yeah, Knights of the D-Pad podcast@gmail.com, all lowercase, no spaces, no special funky characters. I guess I'm now realizing that as we're signing off, no one knows where to go. So with that, let's sign off. My name is Aiden.
I'm Ben.
There you go.
I'm Lillian.
I'm Court.
Knights of the D-Pad. Welcome to season 4. We'll see you all next week. Take care.